This is Daily Indian News Podcast from IDN Podcast Service.
This podcast is hosted by Jeff in August. Today's stories are:
Coronavirus live updates, UP plans 3-day campaign to curb COVID spread, lockdown in Patna from the 10th of July to 16. MIT, Harvard sue Trump admin over foreign student ouster move. Kanpur ambush, 2 cops held for tipping off gangster Vikas Dubey about police action. Indian and Chinese militaries to carry out verification of disengagement process in eastern Ladakh. Won't be intimidated by blind witch hunt, Congress on probe against Gandhi family trusts. Until we educate the entire human race, racism will not stop, Michael Holding. Chhattisgarh, villagers chase Maoists, rescue cops' parents.
Recently Divya Jyoti sent a voice review message to us.
Hi, so congratulations on your podcast, and I was really looking forward to it. Today I searched for some podcasts which I could hear on the on the go without looking at the phone. So really good initiative. Thank you.
You can also send like this by clicking the link in the description. Thank you Divya for your support.
Coronavirus live updates. UP plans 3-day campaign to curb COVID spread, lockdown in Patna from the 10th of July to 16. India has reported a spike of 22,752 COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours, taking the country's coronavirus tally to 742,417 on Wednesday. Out of the total cases reported, 456,830 patients have been cured from the disease, while 1 patient has been migrated. MIT, Harvard sue Trump admin over foreign student ouster move. Washington, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, and Harvard University on Wednesday filed a joint lawsuit against the Trump administration's move to deport foreign students unless they took in-person courses, even as universities across America raced against time to devise ways to retain their international contingent. In a complaint filed before a Massachusetts court seeking declaratory and injunctive relief, MIT and Harvard said the announcement by the Trump administration's Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, that foreign students cannot stay in the US taking only online courses in the time of the coronavirus pandemic has disrupted international student life and jeopardized their academic research pursuits. ICE's action leaves hundreds of thousands of international students with no educational options within the United States. Just weeks from the start of the fall semester, these students are largely unable to transfer to universities providing on-campus instruction, notwithstanding ICE's suggestion that they might do so to avoid removal from the country. Moreover, for many students, returning to their home countries to participate in online instruction is impossible, impracticable, prohibitively expensive, and dangerous, the lawsuit said.
30-second sponsorship ad.
If you haven't about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make podcast. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, ABD, many more. You can make money from your podcast, with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast, in one place. Download the Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started.
Powered by Anchor.
Kanpur ambush, 2 cops held for tipping off gangster Vikas Dubey about police action. Kanpur, suspended Chorbeepa station officer Vinay Tiwari and another policeman were arrested on Wednesday on charges of leaking information about police action to gangster Vikas Dubey prior to last week's encounter in Kanpur, in which 8 policemen were killed. Tiwari and beat in charge of Bakru KK Sharma, who was suspended soon after the encounter. have also been arrested on charges of fleeing the encounter site and putting the lives of other policemen in danger. Senior Superintendent of Police, Kanpur, Dinesh Kumar Prabhu said, both the suspended sub-inspectors were detained for questioning and later arrested, he said. A separate FIR has been registered at the Shorbipa police station against Tiwari and Sharma for allegedly fleeing the encounter site, a police spokesperson said. Indian and Chinese militaries to carry out verification of disengagement process in eastern Ladakh. New Delhi, Indian and Chinese armies are expected to carry out a joint verification to assess the implementation of the disengagement process once the dismantling of temporary infrastructure and withdrawal of troops by China are completed in the friction points in eastern Ladakh. People familiar with the development said on Wednesday. They said the two militaries are set to hold extensive talks on finalizing modalities for restoring normalcy and bringing back peace and tranquility in the region after the verification of the disengagement exercise is completed. The mutual disengagement of troops from the standoff points has been undertaken as a measure to ease the situation in the region, and the larger focus would be to ensure the total restoration of status quo ante in all areas of the region, they said. As per the mutual understanding, neither side will carry out any patrolling in the friction points till modalities for restoration of peace and tranquility are thrashed out. Won't be intimidated by blind witch hunt. Congress on probe against Gandhi family trusts. New Delhi, the Congress on Wednesday said that the party and its leadership will not be intimidated by the blind witch hunt by a panicked Modi government after the Home Ministry set up a committee to investigate alleged violation of various provisions of PMLA, Income Tax Act, Foreign Contributions Regulation Act, etc. by three trusts linked to the Gandhi family. These trusts are the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation, Rajiv Gandhi Charitable Trust and Indira Gandhi Memorial Trust. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi hit out at Prime Minister Narendra Modi, saying that those who fight for the truth have no price and can't be intimidated. Mr. Modi believes the world is like him. He thinks everyone has a price or can be intimidated. He will never understand that those who fight for the truth have no price and cannot be intimidated, Gandhi said on Twitter. Until we educate the entire human race, racism will not stop. Michael Holding, Southampton. An emotional Michael Holding didn't hold back as he delivered a powerful message against racism on Wednesday, asserting that the black race has been dehumanized and its accomplishments wiped off from a history written by people who do the harm. Holding, who will retire from commentary at the end of next year, talked about racism during the first England-West Indies test. It's a match in which players from both the sides will sport Black Lives Matter logos on their jerseys to make a statement against racism following global protests triggered by African-American George Floyd's death at the hands of a white police officer. Chhattisgarh, villagers chase Maoists, rescue cops' parents. Raipur, within a week of murdering a policeman and the kin of a cop, Maoists abducted the parents of a newly recruited police constable from a village in Dantuada on Monday night, but villagers went after them into the forest and rescued them from the clutches of the rebels 24 hours later. Lachchutelam, 64, and his wife Vijjo, 62, had been kidnapped from their home in Gumiarpal village, about 50 kilometers from Dantuada, by a band of Maoists who beat up their daughter when she tried to save them. The couple's son, RJ Tellam, recently joined the District Reserve Guards, which is on the forefront of the jungle combat against Maoists. Outraged, about 150 villagers entered the forest on Tuesday to negotiate with the Maoists for their release. Dantuada SP Abhishek Pallava said that the villagers walked through rough hilly terrain for 15 kilometers and found the constable's mother, who had been left by the Maoists in the middle of the jungle, apparently because she was slowing them up. She showed the villagers which way the rebels had taken her husband into the forest of Badapalli in neighboring Bijapur district. Villagers marched on until they reached the rebels' lair deep in the jungle. It turned out that the couple had been kidnapped by dreaded Maoist Kamlesh, an area committee member, said the SP. There were two other wanted Maoists, Deva, Dubha division commander, and Vinod, divisional committee member. All they carry a combined bounty of Rs 23 lakh, the SP said. This is a unique case where villagers managed to argue with the Maoist fiercely at a Janata lab to release someone branded a police informer. They argued that the elderly parents do not use mobile phones, nor do they know how to access it. They have no means to contact police, said the SP.
That's it. It's from India Daily Podcast Service. Thank you.